everybody, welcome back. So I'm gonna try to keep my head in front of the sun here so it doesn't blind the camera. It is really cold out, but I don't want to just film this in my room, so it's very cold. But today is day 7 of the carnivore diet. I didn't want to just make a video when I first started saying, hey, I'm doing this, because I didn't know if I'd go through. It's day 7. I'm going to be continuing updates just like this. So, just a few things. I don't make this too long, but my starting weight 1 week ago was 307.5 pounds, right around there, between 307 and 308. There's a cat under here. So 307, let's just say 307 was my weight a week ago. Well, today I am 294.5. So, obviously that's a big difference in a week, but I've lost weight a few times, and that always happens right at the beginning. You know, it's like water weight, it's just what's in your system. There's just a lot of weight that you lose at first. So I know that's not how it's going to go the whole time. It's not like I'm going to lose, I mean, what is that? It's like, it's a lot. So yeah, I've probably only actually lost like 2 or 3 pounds, because I just haven't had a ton of meat. But I just want to go over how I've been feeling. So basically the carnivore diet is, you just eat meat. I mean, it's like a carnivore. You eat meat. Keto diet, you're allowed to have, you know, like berries, fruits, nuts, some greens, stuff like that. But on carnivore, it's basically that, but just even more restrictive. So what I've been eating, I wake up and I have either eggs or bacon, or today I had sausage, or I don't even have anything. So for about half of this week, I haven't eaten until dinner. It is hard, but I just haven't. And then at dinner, so let me think. 2 of the nights I had steak, and other nights I had I had a trout, I had some salmon, I had catfish, which not a lot of fats in that, so I was very weak after eating just catfish. But yeah, so just basically any meat, and I can use butter. Actual real butter. You can't use the oil butter, but normal butter I can use. So that's about it. Meat and butter. And you gotta watch everything. We just went yesterday, and since it's been a week, we just went and got some grocery. We just did a little bit. But I went ahead and got a month's worth of dinners for me. And then also, I went ahead and got about 15 days of the month worth of breakfast/lunch things, because I don't eat 2 meals before dinner. It's either 1 meal or I don't eat before dinner. So how am I feeling? I have felt like garbage, like just straight garbage. But at the same time, when I have ate some meat, because like I said, there just wasn't much for this first week, because that wasn't in the grocery list beforehand, you know. We didn't have a lot of meat. So I just haven't been eating much. But, you know, I just have felt like crap. And from the research I've done, a lot of people say that is, it's kind of like a flu. It's not the flu, but it's basically your body really craving carbohydrates. It's, you know, it doesn't have any. And if I say some terms wrong here, I'm sorry. This is my first week doing it. But yeah, I've just felt like I've had the flu, but with no respiratory illness. But I will say, whenever I have eaten, and it hasn't been a lot of meat, you're supposed to eat until you're full. I haven't been able to eat until I was full yet. But for a few hours after eating, I feel really good. And just a week ago, I can remember what it kind of felt like having, you know, sugars and a lot of carbs and stuff. And honestly, there's a big difference, and it's only been a week. I'd also like to say I have no health conditions. I have nothing. I understand I'm big, but I don't have any conditions. I don't have high or low blood sugar. None of that. I'm nothing. So I won't have anything to go off that way wise. But mentally, I'm very bad. So mentally wise, I'm already starting to realize a few things changing. And another thing is I don't crash. Even though I've been starving for this first week, after I eat, I don't crash. Every time I'd eat normal, you crash. You just crash. Another thing I like to say is I don't really drink pop in the first place, so I'm not going to notice a huge sugar difference. But, you know, I drink a lot of milk. There's sugar in milk. I would have, you know, cookies sometimes. And it's weird. I know I'm really fat, but like I've never been into sweets that much. What I was into was just eating a lot of breads, a lot of pastas, a lot of just stuff like that. And then the sweets on top doesn't help when I would have them. As far as alcohol, I did drink, but not much. I'd have like a couple sips of moonshine every night, or every other night, not even every night. And yeah, so I don't really drink beer. I don't like beer, so that's not something I'll notice. But I just want to say all this, you know, up front here. I just want to talk about anything I can, so in the future I can look back at this video and kind of, you know, see where I was at the time. So it's hard, you know. I mean, hopefully I get over the flu symptoms that they say you get from cravings from not having something you've had for years. It's basically an addiction to sugar, you know. That's what it is. Your body's not used to that after so many years of eating and drinking stuff like that. Your body's not used to that. So, my plans, I'd also like to say I have not really exercised. I went on to the bike that I reviewed on the channel, the indoor bike, and I did that a couple times. But for the most part outside it's too cold. Like I have my hands covered right now, it's so cold outside. But I haven't been doing much. So it's weird. I feel extremely hungry. I have felt extremely hungry since I started. But I don't have the urge to go and eat, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't have the urge to, like, oh my gosh, I gotta eat right now. Like, I'm in such pain. It's just more of my entire body, it just feels like it's growling constantly, but I don't have a huge urge to eat. I have some, but not a huge urge. So, before I make this too long, I started at 307 pounds a week ago. I started exactly a week ago from today. Now I'm 294 and a half. Could just say 295. And I'd also like to point out, I ate 4 eggs this morning and 6 sausage links. It's the most I've ate in this week. Today I ate it this morning. I still am hungry, but I weighed after I ate all that, and I drank 2 waters, and I had a carbonated water, which is literally, you can't get the flavored kinds because it has natural flavors on the bottle. They can do a lot of stuff with natural flavors. So the ones I have, it just says carbonated water. That's all it is. So I'm mixing some of that in. We went shopping yesterday. What I did was I pre-prepared the month out. It's going to be very slim, but I will have either a steak for dinner. For about 14 of the nights I'll have a smaller steak. They had a really good deal going on at Giant Eagle. Or I can have 2 quarter-pound beef patties. Or the other bags I have single chicken thighs, and I got 3 packs of bacon, a roll of sausage, and then I bought 2 packs of pork chops, and they're not like the real big ones, but they're about that big. So my plan is to stretch that for an entire month and just see what I can do. I'm going to have a steak tonight because I just keep eating either fish or chicken, and I am not getting enough fat to burn. And that's another thing is I've been watching a lot of videos on this. And, you know, I was inspired by a lot of people. I watch Joe Rogan all the time, and I know a lot of people on the carnivore diet have said the same thing, like they've seen it on Joe Rogan, or Jordan Peterson talked about it. And that's where I first seen it. I seen it a while ago on there. And then, yeah, I watch like clips and stuff all the time. I like watch all of them. And basically anyone on Joe Rogan that comes up on my page, I watch. So I seen that, and I was like, you know, why instead of just starting keto? And I'd like to say one thing. This video is gonna drag on, but if you're listening, you're listening. So I'll just post this whole thing. This is the starting video, so this is a big point if I keep doing this. But I got real bad again. So I did the weight loss series on the channel. Before I started that series, I don't even know if it was last year or the year before. Whenever I did that series, I think the first one I'm like holding a bike up in the air or something. I was doing that diet and workout like a little bit less than a month before I even posted a video of it. So I was already doing it for a while. I ended up doing that for like 6 months. Even though I didn't post much more on the weight loss, I was doing that for 6 months. I got down, so not really good with weights, I haven't kept a huge track, but in 2020, like late 2019 to 2020, I was 350 pounds. 345, and I'm sure it would have peaked there. That was just the one time I went to the doctors. I didn't go to the doctors a lot. Hopefully I said 350. I feel like I said 4, but I was 350. Let's just say 350 was the max weight I've ever been. That's not good. First of all, 300 pounds is not good. I don't care who tells me this. I don't care who wants to argue. Being overweight, and you know, I know like some people are heavier and you know they bodybuild and stuff like that. But a lot of that's like muscle. Being overweight is not good. And I understand that, you know, it's hard for most people to get something done or, you know, start working on it. You know, it's like I've been through the same thing where it's like you start something and you're suffering. You know, I've starved myself a couple of times and you just start suffering. You can't walk. You have no energy. You can't do anything. You feel like garbage. I couldn't even pick up a water bottle almost the one time. And that was only with like 6, not even like a full week. I think it was like 6 days was the max I ever went without eating, and I just like shut down almost. And I know I wouldn't die or anything. It's just, you know, your body has enough fat on it for that, but I couldn't do anything. I couldn't move, and that's not the way to go. What you got to think about is, first of all, you gain weight back no matter what happens if you start going back to how you were eating or you're not strict on yourself. So I think the biggest thing I need to realize, and some people need to realize if they've been through what I've been through, where you've tried certain things and you suffer but nothing, you don't lose anything. I think the biggest thing is, past losing weight, you need to look at something that you're going to do for a long time, if not the rest of your life. And I was really looking into the keto diet. I know Zachary Fowler, he did that. He did pretty well with that. He might still be on keto. I'm not exactly sure. And basically keto is, I see it as like a caveman diet almost. Like, which I don't know how they ate, but just in my mind, what I thought of a caveman is a kind of a forager. You know, they'd have meat, they'd have some greens, they'd have some nuts, they'd have some berries, stuff like that. And cheese as well. Cheese is on keto, just not a lot of that stuff. There's a lot more on it. But I figured I would start off carnivore diet because you're basically cutting out all carbs. There's like none to zero. I mean, and when I say none, I'm talking like, you know, just a few grams or something like that. But currently I am at basically no carbs at all intake. Keto, you intake some carbs, so it slows down the process. But I don't feel like cutting this video up, so that car's gonna stay in the video. They don't even have a license plate, I don't think, but so I thought, you know what? Screw you, Nick. And I'm doing carnivore, because that's even harder. So it's been a week now. I'm on carnivore, and what I plan to do, because you got to have a plan to stick to, because if you just lose a bunch of weight and then just forget about it, like, oh, I just lost all of it, that's not how that works. I've never been there, but I know that's not how it works. So basically, whenever I feel like I've lost way more than enough weight, and if I'm kind of not happy with carnivore and I want to have some other things like nuts, berries, stuff like that, I'll switch to keto. That's what I'll do. I'll just switch to keto. So, yeah, I was in a real bad time. Past month before this week, I just started binge eating food. Like, I just grabbed food and just started eating, and I couldn't stop. I'd keep eating and eating and eating. And that's just part of depression. Everyone has that. But I just kept eating and eating and eating. And the whole time I was so mad at myself and upset with myself. Why are you doing that? What's the point of this? You taste it for 1 second and then it's gone. But then you gain weight from it. I already know what everything tastes like. It's pointless. And I'm basically, ending myself. I'm 21. I have been real big since I was little. I mean, seriously, I've always been this big. I'd be a lot happier if I just lost a lot for once, So, yeah. There's going to be some people watching this that are annoyed with how I start talking about something and then forget to say the end part of it, and I move to something else, or I say, I'm sorry. That's just how I talk. So, yeah. And I just said, you know what? I'm done telling myself every night that, hey, tomorrow is different. I'm not eating all this food. And I just kept doing it. I kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And I got so mad at myself. I said, well, if you're going to starve yourself and it's not going to do anything, what's the point of that? So I'm doing carnivore. After I seen Joe Rogan and them talk about it, they do well on it. I like meat. I really don't like sweets that much, but I did eat sweets for sure. Don't get me wrong. So I cut it all, and now I'm just eating meat, salt, pepper, butter. That's it. That's all I'm eating. So that is how it stands. This is week 1. You're going to be seeing this uploaded right after I film this. So, if anyone wants to join along, or if anyone, maybe just wants to wait a bit and see how I start doing, I'd be glad for anyone to join along. It's no good not doing anything and telling yourself you're going to do something and then you don't. There is a lot of criticism around this diet. A lot. And, at first I thought too, man, that's the stuff that gives you heart attacks. All that meat and all that fat and butter, that's going to give you a heart attack. The main thing that causes heart attacks is inflammation. It's inflammation. And do not get me wrong, I am not a professional at this. Nobody listen to me, okay? I'm sharing my story. And it's hard doing a story this early into something this big, So at McDonald's, if any of you, you don't cook a lot or whatever, I've only done it once in this first week, but yesterday, we were out and stuff, and they were eating really good looking food in front of me. Don't get me wrong, all food looks amazing still. It all looks amazing. But I'm sort of proud of myself as I'm looking at all that food for not eating it. So it's kind of this draw in the middle where on another diet I probably would have just leaped for something. But this I was like, no, I'm not doing it. So we went to McDonald's. McDonald's has the quarter-pound patties. And there's no oil on those. I can't have no oil. And, you're able to just order quarter-pound patties. And they were $1, I think they were $1.40 a piece, which is not that bad, and they come with salt and pepper on them. So I had 2 of those. That's all I ate yesterday. It was 2 quarter-pound patties. That is all I ate. But yeah, there's options. There's options. I went to a steakhouse. It really sucked because they wouldn't let me just buy the steak. So I had to get the meal. I just brought everything else home. I told them, I said, hey, I want the steak. You know, my friend was eating those these Texas Roadhouse, my favorite place to eat. This was my first draw of tension between dipping back into bad food. But I watched him. He ate the rolls and the cinnamon butter in front of me, and then he had smothered chicken with cheese, onions, everything, a pop, and I'm sitting there. I have a glass of water, and I bought the biggest steak I could buy. But I told the waitress, I said, just the rest of the meal, put it all in boxes. I'll take it home to my mom. So I brought it all home. I didn't touch any of it. I just ate the steak, nothing else. Had water. So it definitely takes self-punishment to, like, you know, not do that stuff. But I'll keep talking forever. That's all I want to say. Just some base things. Where the weight is right now. You know, kind of my little start into it. Things I've come across. I noticed I've been sleeping better. It's really weird. I had this weird thing, and maybe I'll still have it again, but before bed, I would stress about basically fear of dying while I'm sleeping. And I just noticed this as I'm talking to the camera. I'd have a fear of dying. Just like if I go to sleep, I'm dead. Like, how do I know? What can I do? I'm gonna die. Just something like that. Everyone has weird things like that where they get stressed out over something. And I have no complications, so there's nothing leading to that. I've noticed I don't really take naps, but this week I have accidentally fell asleep 3 times while sitting on my bed. I just fell asleep, and I was sleeping for hours. So, my dad was calling. So yeah, I forgot what I was just saying, but we'll just end it at that. Make you guys even more annoyed that I keep cutting off what I'm going to say. But I'm ending this here. Oh yeah, I keep napping. Keep falling asleep. Normally I'd stress about sleeping and I couldn't do it. Or I'd have to stay up extremely late and then go to bed. Which I have been staying up late, but when I go to bed I don't worry about anything. I just go to bed. So that's a little weird thing. But yeah, that's the first week of the carnivore diet. It is strict. It's been very hard on me, but I have not let up. I've had bad leg cramps, arm cramps, all muscle cramps, dizzy, mood swinging at times, not much, but that's about it. And I'm hoping that starts to go away. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to keep documenting this and just see how it goes. I'll be kind of a test dummy. I know a lot of people already do it, but I'm going to just go for it, see how it goes. So, first week, week 1, I was 307. I'm now 294.5. That's week 1. A lot of that's water weight, whatever else, but that's week 1. So, I'll update you in the next video on this. Thanks for watching.